Thank you for joining me. Welcome. Come on in. Had to remove my reminder. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Let me just tell you all. I hope you all are joining me Saturday, June 29th at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Joining me for the group coaching discussion session. And I think I'm going to get a little more deep too in my classes. A little more like I think, hang on, no, it's not I think, I know. I know God is calling me to go a little deeper, especially with things that are spiritual, right? Like there's a lot of things that we fight against and we don't know that it's spiritual. We just think it's natural, right? Um, I've been fighting all my life against things that are spiritual, and I had no spiritual understanding of it. I have understanding now, and I can see different things, right? Like for instance, I was thinking about today how, you can have a parent. I know a situation of a mother, who is, broken herself, right? She's very broken. She's a very broken, dark-hearted individual. And it's nothing for her, right, to cause discord between her children. It's nothing for her to destroy her grandchildren. It's nothing for her to destroy her family, her child's family, right? There's nothing for her to do that, right? The deception, the wickedness, the behind the scenes wickedness, that takes place is nothing. Is nothing for her to do that, right? Because in her heart, she's very dark and broken. And people like that, when you are like spiritual, when you could see things and see wickedness on a different level, people tend to throw rocks and hide their hands. If they can't attack you and beat you naturally, if they can't beat you naturally, oh, they'll try to attack you spiritually. They will lie on you. This person have lied on, someone. They will slander you, right? Good afternoon, Kiosha, I haven't seen you in a while, dear. They will slander you. They will make you, they will go out of their way to make a person look bad, you know. They will go out of their way to destroy the character of people, to make them look bad, to make themselves feel good about the wickedness they are doing. When I tell you, I received so many downloads. I got so many books in me, so many teachings, so many classes that I know God is calling me to teach on, because some of these things I have experienced myself, and I didn't know that that what was taking place was very spiritual, right? Very spiritual and very dark, because people tend to be jealous of their own children, and they don't want their children to succeed. They don't want their children to excel. So if the mom never been married, they don't want their children to get married and have a family. They will do all they can to destroy that family. They're not thinking about their grandchildren. They're not thinking about the disruption that discord will bring, because they're so selfish. They're so selfish and wicked. They're not thinking about the generations to come. They're thinking about their selfishness. And normally wicked people, they don't care. They don't care. They keep their children, at odds. They keep their children competing for their love. They always creating a golden child. They're always creating a golden grandchild. They'll love on certain grandchildren, they'll pick the weakest out of the group. They'll pick the weakest link out of the group, raise that one up, make that one the golden grandchild, and abuse that child. Okay? They will abuse that child and use that child. Okay? Because what they're creating is dysfunction. They're creating dysfunction. Right? They're creating dysfunction. They're making the other grandchildren feel bad. And they're trying to make the grandchild that they put on the pedestal. They want to make them feel like they're better than the other grandchildren, and it's all a part of the wickedness that they have in their head that they're devising. It's all a part of it. It's all, when I tell you, these people are wicked. But you know what's happening this year? You know what's happening this year? Let me tell you what's happening this year. Not next year. It's going to happen this year. Everything wicked, the wicked heart, the wicked schemes and plans and plots of the enemy will be exposed. Will be exposed. Some of these dark entities, because that's what they are. It's not people, they're entities. They will go so far as putting spells on their own children. Especially if they're married. They'll put spells on their own children. Yes, they will. People don't believe this. You have some wicked people out there. They're so wicked because they can't control. They can't control folks. So they want to control you spiritually. That's why I tell y'all have to have a real relationship with God. I mean, a real one, not a watered down one. You got to have a real prayer life. You got to have a real fasting life. You have to have real discernment to fight in these times. The wickedness that is so dark and evil. I was coming on here to promote my class that I'm having on Saturday, and I'm getting on this because somebody needs to hear it. The only way you're going to beat these spirits, the only way you're going to beat these dark entities, this wickedness, is through prayer and fasting. That is the only way you're going to beat it. I'm sorry to tell you. You can go to therapy. You can go see the top therapist. But that battle you're fighting is spiritual. It's a spiritual battle. These folks are, when I tell you, they're just blatantly wicked. They're happy to see that they have destroyed something. They're happy. They don't want their children to excel. I never saw a person that don't want their children to excel and don't want their grandchildren to excel and do far better than them. Because they're so selfish and jealous, they want to keep them kids codependent. They want to keep their children codependent. They don't want them to rise up and raise up and be independent. They don't want them to be an individual. They want them to be an extension of themselves. They use their children. Their children are objects. They don't love their kids. They're objects. And half of these people have abused their children to a magnitude that they cannot utter. These kids have been abused by these wicked folks. And they don't know how to decipher like what happened to them from the love of their parent. They don't know how to separate the two. And they think people don't know what has taken place. Their grandchildren too. The abuse that have been inflicted upon their grandkids and their children. They can't utter a word. That's why that dysfunction is there. That dysfunction. When you find a man who hate his mother, hate their father, the pain is so great. When it's so great, it seeps through their pores. There's a level of abuse that they cannot utter. They can't utter a word because they're confused by the manipulation. They're confused by, oh, this is my mom. She did this for me, but she also did that. Oh, they can't separate the two. It's confusing. That's why the children are in a confused state. And that mother knows it too. She know it. She know what she has done. She know what she has done. And unfortunately, dads cause abuse too, and harm and hurt. But this, I'm talking about a mother. I'm talking about a mom, a certain type of mom. They will sit and destroy their children's lives. They know how to manipulate their child because they had their child. And people wonder why children are going no contact with their parents. They wonder why kids don't want to do, have anything to do with their parents. Oh, I understand. I don't judge. I understand why. But I don't condone, nor do I support being disrespectful, right? You can still honor them. But I'm going across the state over here. Mom, I love you. I'll be here if you need me, but I'll be over there in another state, in another country. But it's so sad to see and to think about how your own mother don't want you to succeed. I'll do anything for my kids to succeed. But number one, the main thing I'm going to do is speak the truth. Oh, they're going to get the truth from me regardless. If they want to receive it or not, I'm going to give them the truth, and that's going to be that. That's just part of who I am. But I never not wanted my own children to succeed, to do better than me. This person I'm talking about, she went above and beyond to make sure her children are dependent on her, codependent, always feel like they can't live life without her. Very abusive, very mean-spirited, mean, manipulative, deceptive. And God ain't pleased in this season. He's not pleased. He's calling these people to repent. But some of them are so prideful, they're not going to repent because they're prideful. They don't want the lies that they have told on people to be exposed. They don't want to look bad to people because they went out of their way to destroy folks' character. They went out of their way, but they just don't know. Everything they have sown, everything they have planted, you ain't got to hope it on them. See, your job is not to be sitting back nanny boo-booing, because when this thing hit, you gonna know exactly, because God will give you a chance to repent. But people be so prideful, they don't want to repent because that pride, it just won't let them. That pride have a chokehold on them where they don't lie on people, destroyed families, destroyed relationships over lies. They have told lies that destroyed relationships. And they don't want people to be connected. They don't want people to be happy and connected. Oh, they like discord. They got to have discord, because the enemy loves discord and confusion. When he has discord and confusion, he can move in and do his little slimy work. He likes to manipulate, project. He likes to gaslight. All those terms, those are enemy terms. The devil good at that. The enemy is good at that. He get into people, and that's what they do. But you have to know how to stand your ground and trust your intuition. Trust your God-given. I'm going to say intuition. Trust your GPS, your God placement system. Trust that. Trust it. But I hope you all are joining me on Saturday. Okay? Because we're going to be watching the movie Apple Mortgage Cake prior to Saturday. And then we're going to be discussing that movie. We're going to be discussing in a group coaching setting how that movie resonated with us. How, the nuggets we took from the movie. Right? The nuggets we took from the movie. You want to give me my hug now? Come on, baby. My hug.
You squeezed my side.
I didn't squeeze you. I'm going to stop all that. I did not squeeze you. Oh, it is. It's very good, Kiosha. It's a good movie. I watched it 4 times already. I'll be watching it a fifth time I'm going to watch it Thursday. I'm going to watch Thursday evening so I can take me some more notes. My coach had us watch it too, so that's why I'm creating this group coaching session. Since she suggested it, I'll be watching it. I mean, doing a group coaching session, doing the same movie, you know, for my team over here. For my, we're not followers. We family, for the family over here. Like, I don't like that, followers. I don't like that. Just sounds, no. We should be following Jesus, not folks on YouTube. From a responsibility family for the chosen ones, I said I'll, come and do the class. But yeah, that is a good movie. Hi D, how are you doing, dear? It's called Apple Mortgage Cake. Shaquetta. It's Apple Mortgage Cake. But you can still watch the movie and still do it on your own. But I'm doing a group coaching session, so I can coach the students who signed up, some of the family who signed up. My last class was a free class, and that class was awesome. A few people signed up. Some didn't make it, but this is a paid class, so when you pay, you have to come, right? So yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. Yep, you never know what you're going to get. That's the thing about signing up for classes. Oh, I did, girl. I mean, I went to school. I know how to pronounce a little something. Listen, I used to substitute, right? And, when I used to go to these different schools, sometimes they call them PWSs or PWIs, predominantly white. And, you have your little speckles of black here and there. And I used to go and, and I used to see the names, our little Afrocentric names, and I used to pronounce them right. They'd be like, oh my God, for the first time someone pronounced my name right. Even with some of the Indian students, some of the, what are the other students? It was another group, and I always used to get their names right. They used to be so happy. Oh, she pronounced my name right. It's not hard if we know the alphabet. They taught us that in school. Sound it out. Then I have a childhood best friend named was Quetta. So, no, you got to give them a lesson. Have them pronounce it right. Don't let them call you nothing. Correct them every time. Take them to school, help them enunciate. Just like some of the African names. Oh, thank you, dear. Child, I wasn't always looking like this, okay? Look, God is doing the work. Just like some of the African names. I used to, even, that's another group, like the African kids, not the African American, the real African kids that came from Africa, the parents African, country is Africa, because I'm descendant of, supposedly Nigerian descent. But I'm talking about the real Africans. And I used to pronounce some of their, names, and they'd be like, oh my goodness, somebody pronounced my name right. Yes, because I know if you're from Africa, your name has meaning. It means something. Names have meaning. So you want people to call you that. Oh, it did? Is it Amanika? Did I pronounce that right? Amanika? Or Omanika? Yep. Yeah, we want somebody to call us by our name, even if it's a long name. I had I got neighbors, they're from India, and they were telling me their name. And I said, I'm gonna get your name right. I said, you got to give me some time. I said, you got to give me some time, but I'm gonna get it right, because she stopped me and, was talking to me, asking me about my daughter. And because we all used to go to the gym and treadmill together. But I'm like, I'll get it right, because I want to call people their right name. Thank you, son. Thank you very much. You'd do anything to play that game. Yeah. Because the boy who I was talking about too, I think he was working at Publix. He was a young African kid. He was working at Publix. And his name meant of God, but it was African, and I don't remember the name, but I think it was of God or by God. It was something spiritual, and I was like, that's a beautiful name. I cannot remember it. I'm taking my Spark because I had to get ready to work out. Look, I got an hour to work out. I don't know how I'm gonna do that because I have class at 7. I'm taking Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University's class with my church. So I got that at 7, and I tried to come do a quick video. See, I be moving. I just got off work, came home, did a quick video, getting my son in order. But I'm gonna make that class though, and I'm gonna do my workout. If I have to stop, come back and finish my workout, I'm going to do it. I have to find something to wear. I want to wear my workout clothes. I may have to take me a shower. I want to be going to stink now. Look, I don't want to go to church smelling stink. They may have to rebuke me. I don't know. I may have to work out when I come back. I may have to work out, but I had to get it. I'm sorry, y'all. Lord, they didn't know about class and smelling on. Somebody sweaty. My baby said, "Mom, you had to say stink like that." Well, I don't want to be smelling, okay? I don't want to be smelling stink. I'm going to use proper terms. I ain't going to use my hood dialect. Stink. And we drag it out. You know, we say words. You grew up in the hood, you say words, you drag it out. You're welcome, Keosha. Look, I ain't going to never be ashamed where I come from. Because I know I'm refined hood, okay? And God has did a work in me. I need that because there's certain people I need to talk to. See, I need to be able to get on their level. I remember when I was substituting, and every now and then, I know the kids that come, you know, that moves to the areas that came from the hood. I just know those. And, you know, you have to talk to them a certain way, respectfully, but they don't understand regular language. You know, you got to talk to them in a certain way, then they understand. You got to come down a little bit, not like they're ignorant or nothing, because those kids are very intelligent, but it's a certain way you got to talk to them hood kids so they can understand you. You can't talk to them normal. Like my grandmother say, my grandmother, when my grandmother saved too, she was my mom's mom, sweetest lady in the world. I understand what she meant now. And I remember when she said, because she used to say this word, one word, you know, the donkey word, the ASS word. When she said that word, sit your ASS down, oh, we knew she meant business. Now, all the other time, my grandmother just is sweet. She's so kind and sweet. We still bouncing off the chairs, doing stuff. She told us 100 times to sit down, and we still doing what we want to do. But when she hit you with that ASS, sit your donkey ass, sit your butt down, use that word, oh, we knew she meant business. Next, that belt was coming out. We always pushed her to that limit until she said that word, and then we acted as if she spoke the holy, you know, spoke in a heavenly language or something. It just the kids, we just were off the charts. Off the charts. I miss my grandma though. So sweet. So sweet. Nice lady. I don't know how she was BC. I can't say, because you know everybody, you know, forget about they prior life. I don't know how she was before Christ, but I always knew her being saved. I mean, my grandmother was real saved too. Okay, she sure do. My grandmother real saved. We couldn't play Uno. She wasn't letting us do, she only gave into Halloween, which I regret she did. She should have just stuck to her guns. As you know, celebrate Halloween, open up so many portals. But we couldn't celebrate Halloween. I never forget. And she started letting us go, you know, trick-or-treating, dressing up. But one time she didn't play that. We couldn't play Uno cards, no goldfish. My grandma let no cards come in our house. Now, you know, back then, you know, you thought them people were crazy, but I understand now on a spiritual level, when you open certain doors, I understand now. The thing I regret that they didn't talk about back in the days, you know, And they probably didn't know. That's why so much information is being revealed now. Because, you know, our ancestors, they didn't know. They didn't know a lot of things. You know, they only knew what was taught to them. And half of the stuff was taught to them was in error. But she still had some truth, you know, in her message. The one thing I wish they taught was how important it is. How important, you know, staying pure was. They should have drilled that. And how important it is. Justice 555. How important it is, let me send these numbers, how important it is to, you know, how important marriage is. Not just getting married, right? Not just getting married, but how important it is to marry the right person, you know? And you know, they didn't know. They just supported, say, get married, blah, 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 you know? And things change. And I understand back then why it was simple for them. And for our generation, it's so difficult. That's why you have so many divorces. And, you know, they can argue this all they want to. But there was some type of, although you had people that were abusive back then, you know, you had a lot of them old men, they had 2 and 3 families. And they didn't know how to, they didn't know how to keep it in one place. Lord, they had 2 families growing up together. And them curses, see, people don't understand. Even though our ancestors did that stuff, we are paying for that stuff. Your granddad had 2 families. Now, the whole bloodline divorced. Every man in the family divorced, married twice. That's a curse. That's a generational curse. It's just following the bloodline until somebody break it and until somebody address it and break it. Them curses just following the bloodline, and you think you're doing all you can to, you know, break a generation of curse. But if that person don't break that curse off their family, ain't nothing you could do. All thing you can do is pray for them and, you know, have God to reveal to them what curse they're dealing with, but they got to break it off their own bloodline. Yeah, they got to break it off their own bloodline. I know it's one curse of my bloodline that I see. And it's bad. I've noticed it in all. Like, it's bad. You don't be realizing it. Hey, Kings and Queens coaching group. You don't be realizing it. It's a curse until, you know, you get revelation. Till God give you revelation.
Dad's here.
Okay. Until God give you revelation.
I love you.
All right, baby. Love you. Did you take a bath?
I'm gonna take one at Dad's.
Love you.
Love you.
What you running for? You been outside?
Huh?
You was
On
outside?
the front porch.
Oh. But yeah. But yeah, you have to you have to challenge those curses. And now when I tell you start confronting them curses, now it's not going to be easy. Them demons gonna come for y'all. I'm just gonna tell you. I don't mean to laugh, but isn't it ironic when you just sitting there, you know, not challenging the curses, not saying anything, you going along with it. But as soon as you address, soon as you confront, you bring up, you question things. Oh, all HE devil hockey stick want to break loose. Now people want to come for you. They ain't been coming for you when you've been out there doing what they were doing. When you were doing what they were doing, they wasn't coming for you. Now, you speaking, you crying aloud, sparing not. Now you speaking, now they want to come for you. Because you waking up them ancient demons. You waking up them ancient spirits. Them spirits don't want you to break free. They want you. See you later, baby. I love you. They want you to stay broke, busted, and disgusted. They want you to stay sick, broke, busted, and disgusted, challenging mental illnesses, unmarried, because marriage is of God. They want you religious, you know, just religious, and not really believe, you know, going to church but not really believing, and you don't have no fruit. They want you to be that. They want you to be depressed, living in anxiety. What else? Delayed in everything. Delayed in everything. They want you to be delayed in everything. Mm-hmm. Spiritually delayed and everything. They don't want you to break the generational curse of incest. All that secret incest going on. Nobody ain't saying nothing. You got cousins really making dozens. You got to watch what we say when we say that cousins make dozens. You better go find out where that came from. Find out where that root word, that slogan came from. That ain't no good term. That's not a good term at all. And we just used to say it like it wasn't nothing. And we really do got cousins making dozens. That's a curse. You got to rebuke that, renounce and rebuke that foolishness. Mm-hmm. You never heard that before? I did. I heard it all my life growing up. Cousins make dozens. No, I rebuke that. Mm-hmm. They need to go do some research and go see where it come from. We won't be so quick to say it. It's disgusting, the root of it. It's disgusting, but it is what it is. But we got to break all those different curses. Yep. Different sayings. We say different things and don't know. You know, a lot of it came from ignorance. We didn't know. We just regurgitated what, our grandmothers and moms and people before us said. We didn't know. We never asked questions. We do things to this day because we saw our grandmothers and moms and aunts and everybody else do it. And we never question it. We never question it because we were taught not to question things. We should be questioning some things now. We should be questioning things. Because everything a person say out of their mouth who claims to be of God or a man of God or a woman of God or a pastor, preacher, we can't always believe what they're saying. Sometimes these titles take away what I'm trying to say. People, when they come with titles, they're automatically trying to buy our trust and, put our hope and faith in them. No, look, I've learned, I don't care who you come as, pastor, third degree, underscore, squared, divided by, they got all these titles, pastor, doctor, and all this. Listen, super pastor, super evangelist, super prophet, and all them. No, I'm gonna see. Let me see what God said. Because if I'm not resonating with that, I'm not going to take that for myself. Because we just believe anything somebody say who claim to be a prophet, pastor, preacher. No, let me see if that's what God wants. Oh, you'll know. Let me tell you how you know a true prophet is speaking to you. Let me tell you how you know. Because they're going to tell you something that is going to correct you. Right? It's either going to be a correction or it's going to be something where only you talk to God about that thing. Like only you told God about that. And they know all of the details. Not if you drive a blue car. Ain't nobody never prophesied about, do you got a blue car? And you parked beside this tree over. No, you don't want that type of prophecy. You don't want that type of prophecy. You want the ones that gonna minister to your spirit. Because if you can get your spirit out, all the rest of the stuff could come. What we do is we want to look like we got fruit by adding all the material things to us. That's why people who got all the material stuff, that's why they still depressed, anxiety, idle. I can't say the word with the S, idle. I'm trying to speak in terms. That's why they still like that, because they're trying to do what the world says. get all the things. Let me add all these things to me so I can cover up my brokenness. Let me go get all these degrees, cars. Let me get this expensive handbag. Let me get my mink. What the hair they wearing now? Is it mink hair or mink lashes? Which one it is? Look, I don't even know what hair they wear now. One of my sisters used to buy that expensive hair. I'm like, girl, you better grow your hair out. Oh, it's mink hair too? I know, okay. Yeah, I got my mink. I got my snatched waist. Okay. I got my BBL and my lift. No, that's outer. But your inner is disgusted. Your inner is nasty. You broken, you hurt. You got mama issues, daddy issues. Get that done first. Get that done. Work on the inner side, inner man. Work on your spirit. And then all the other stuff will be all the more. But when you work on your spirit, your outer is going to transform. You're not going to even want all that stuff on you. That's just how it goes. When people are overcompensating on the outside, that's because on the inside, they're still broken and hurt. They're not, they're not fulfilled on the inside. When you start working on your inside, your outer appearance are going to change to match your inside. And you're going to realize the makeup, the hair, the lashes, the nails, not saying anything is wrong with that stuff. You're going to realize you don't need that because you're going to be so free and light. You're going to be so free and light and content and confident. You're going to have a spiritual boldness. And you're going to know who you are. So you're not going to want to add anything to cover up the true you. Excuse me. To cover up the true you. Because you feel complete. You feel complete. Listen, I don't talk about everything, what I came to talk on here for. But anyways, I just want to come in and chit chat with you all. How's everything doing? Kiyoshi, I'm so glad you stopped by. I haven't seen you in a while. That's one of my day ones right there. She's been around for a minute. But this channel is not too old. It's not an old channel. I haven't been on here too long. But I would love for you all to join the class on Saturday. And I'm going to start having more classes. More group coaching. I still do individual coaching. Yes, I hope all is well with you, dear. But yeah, I'll be having more classes. I'm looking forward to the classes too. They're Zoom classes. They're just small investments. Trust me. It's going to be worth the investment. Worth the investment. And I have to start being obedient. I have to invest my time and I have to do what it is I need to do. Trying to see what's something on my neck back there. I don't know if it's a little bump or something or... Yep, I've been missing. I miss you, dear. But I hope all is well. I sure do. I hope all is well and get ready for class. Get ready for class. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I'm going to work out. But I'm not going to have time. I'm going to have to work out when I get home because I got to be consistent. I started this challenge. I hope that wasn't spit. That just fell out. Look, I started this challenge. Jaden, I don't know you, Jaden. How do you know me? I don't know. Let me block you now because I got a block and delete ministry over here. Make sure you come and correct. It's either you know me or know of me. Because, we say we know people, but we don't be knowing them like that. When you know people, you know their parents. You know where they were born. What high school? Tell me what high school. Oh, don't put it in there, then. People may know. What's your last name, Jaden? Put the initials of the high school. Don't put the whole name. Because if we put the initials, we probably went to school together. I don't know that name. What year you graduated? Tell me the year you graduated. Because, you know, our high school was mixed with middle and high school, so. Yep. But I'm glad you all stopped by to chit-chat with me. I am so glad. So glad. Subscribe to the channel, Jaden. It's a personal development channel. It's a channel for women, but I have a few family members that are men too. Yep, I have a few family members that are men that I talk to. I have to check on some of my brothers too. I had a few of them. I got to email and check on them, make sure they're all right. So you all, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back on here tomorrow. I hope you join the class Saturday, June 29th. I'll be here 10 o'clock, bright-eyed, what is it, bright-eyed, bushy tail. I'll be up and ready to go. I'll be up ready to go. Yep, be up bright-eyed, bushy tail. Ready to discuss that move. I know it's going to be good. 2 hours is really not a long time, especially when you get to talking. I know we was on my coaching class. Ooh, we was on my coaching class last night for about 3 hours. We were on there a long time. With my coach, it started at 7:30. I think it ended like at 11. We were on there a while, but that thing was good though. But it was good. It was good. You know, when you invest your time, you know, you got to invest your time. What I've realized, if you want something bad enough, you will invest your time. You will do what you have to do to invest, to improve. And that's what I've been doing since the beginning. Since I started my journey back since high school. Actually, since high school, I've always did things that helped me become a better person, because there was a lot of things I didn't know. You know, I didn't have people teaching me certain things. Like my grandmother, she taught me a lot of life skills, you know, a lot of things that stick with me to this day. And they did what they could do, you know. They did what they can do with the information they had. Some of you all need to stop being so hard on your parents. I know we talked about wicked mothers, but you got some good mothers too. Okay? We're not just talking about the wicked ones, but you got some good mothers who really did what they could do and provided what they could provide with the information that they had. They didn't try to manipulate you. They didn't try to, you know, harm you. They only gave you what they had. Right? Although my mom didn't raise me, I didn't hate her. I didn't hate her to the point, I just felt rejected. But I didn't hate my mom. You know, I was angry. When I was, when I wrote my book, when I was younger, I did. Because I felt rejected and I felt abandoned. But when I grew up and realized that she experienced her own thing too, I did. Yes, I did. I went through this period of hate. I talked about that in my book. But I went through this period of like feeling rejected. It wasn't a hate that, you know, I just felt rejected. It wasn't a hate. You know how people have hate in their heart for someone, or, you know, they just, you know, hate someone so much. No, I just felt rejected and abandoned. And I thank God that he delivered me from that, because he showed me, you know, my mom had her own stuff. And I'm glad I did, because she was dealing with a lot of family generational curses too. Yeah, she was dealing with generational curses that she couldn't fight off. So I came. God sent me. I'm going to fight for my mama. I said that before. He sent me to fight for her. She couldn't fight, but I'm going to fight. He made me a fighter. I feel like Celie from The Color Purple. All my life I had to fight. My babies, they even know I say that all the time. My daughter told me last night, and don't say all my life I had to fight. All my life I had to fight. Chosen one, we're fighters. We're fighters. One thing about us chosen ones, let me tell you. One thing about us, When we get opposition, we don't fold. We fly. When opposition come up against us, we don't fold at all. We may get down because we're sensitive. We can feel the warfare. But that opposition give us a fresh wind. We get a fresh wind. Yeah, my mama couldn't fight Kiosha. My mama couldn't fight, but I'm gonna fight her battles. You know how in the hood, all the family fight, but it's spiritual though. I'm not getting out there helping no cousins and my mama fight now. We're gonna have to call the police. You know, in the hood, everybody fight. One fight, we all fight. You know, they had that little mentality. That's what I'm doing for my mama. She couldn't fight, but I'm fighting for her. I'm gonna be her voice, her mouthpiece. I'm gonna be what she needed and she didn't have. I'm gonna be what she needed. I'm gonna make them devils mad. They already mad. Yeah, they already mad. But I'm gonna fight for my mom. I already broke half of the curses. I'm gonna continue to fight. Now I got to fight for my kids. Whatever I gotta do, I'm gonna continue to fight. Whatever I gotta do, I'm gonna continue to fight. Because the devil had my mama bound. She couldn't get out of that. But he come over here, I'm going to knock his butt out. I'm going to knock him out. He been trying to get me too. Oh, he tried. He tried. Oh, he tried plenty of times. Oh, he tried. He tried. I'm going to wear his butt out. Just like I was listening to my girl Siobhan. She said, I can't wait to get a hold of the devil. My girl Siobhan, I got to bring her on this channel. I never had one on there, but I think I'm going to bring her. She wild. She's so wild. I'm going to bring her on this channel. So I can't wait to get a hold of him. Yes, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense why you got to be the strong one, the odd one, the black sheep, the one who most talked about, the one who most attacked. Because, you know, they don't like you. The family don't like you when you the black sheep, when you stand out. And that used to make me feel so bad when I was younger. People intentionally treated me wrong. They intentionally left me out. They intentionally, made things worse than what it was. And since you chose and you're so sensitive in your spirit, you feel everything. But child, God waking us up. He making us warriors. He giving us backbones. He making us stronger. He making us bolder. We're more vocal. Or we're going to tell you how it is. We're going to tell you right there. Wherever you issue it out, that's where you're going to get it resolved. Right there. For so long, we'll be quiet. We won't say anything. We go along to get along. We try to keep the peace. We're very peaceful people. But people been seeing that and they trample over that. And now God say no more. He says it's time for us to stop being passive. We got to call the truth what it is. And see, when you get delivered, Kiosha, when you get delivered from that people-pleasing spirit and get delivered from losing people, oh, you're going to be bold, child. You're going to be so bold. You're going to tell them just how it is. Then people don't want to be around you now because they feel that. They feel that your spirit has gotten stronger, so they don't want to be around you. They'll avoid you. They don't want to be around you no more because you're going to straighten them out. You're going to tell them just how it is. You're going to bring up stuff that they don't want to bring up, that they ignore in the family. You're going to bring it up right there. I'll be glad when y'all deal with this here before y'all talk about that. Let's deal with this first. Let's see why we skipped over this for years, and let's handle this first. Okay, let's get to this. Let's deal with this issue before we go over here. No, first let's get to this lie. Because see what people do, they'll lie on you and then they want you to not bring it up. They want you to forget about it. Oh no, in this season, are we going back? Let's go back to let's straighten out where you lied at in 2000 and forget the stuff they tried the lie they tried to put on us that God said he'll do. God said he'll forget, right? He will forget and throw your, and cast your sins as far as the east is from the west. God told us if you got an ought against your brother, you go to him. If you got an issue, you go to him. And y'all straighten it out. Take wise counsel with you, straighten it out. Because people want time and years to pass by, and they don't want to address what happened in 1975. Because, they still mad about that. They still mad about what happened in 1975. So y'all can't go past that because they don't build up bitterness in their heart. They still bitter about that. Y'all better, let's talk about this. But I'm happy to be fighting for my mom. I am. For real, Kiosha, girl, they don't want to address nothing. They just want to let time pass by and come around like ain't nothing happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll vindicate you, D. But once you realize, see, that's what I had to learn. Once you realize, once you get that relationship with God and you realize that's how the enemy, because, you know, like they say, we're not wrestling with flesh and blood, and we're not. When you realize what the enemy is doing, you'll know how to fight him. You can silence him easily. You're going to have to let the lies come. Because I hate it when people lied on me. But that's part of it. If they lied on God, they're going to lie on the chosen ones. The chosen, you're going to get lied on. You're going to be betrayed. You know, betrayal going to happen. You're going to be gaslit. Everything. Your character assassination. Everything what happened to God, you're going to experience that same thing. And it's going to hurt. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to feel like people, you getting stabbed on both sides of your spirit. You just, But God is using that for training. He's allowing you to feel what others, you know, what others may have felt, so you can be more empathetic. When he send you out to minister to people, you'll be more empathetic. You'll be able to feel and empathize with them. You'll be able to empathize and be sincere. Because wicked people can't be sincere. They come to folks and they want to listen and get information, and they turn around and stab the person in the back with the same information. But you chose one. You're different. You're more empathetic. When people tell you stuff, they feel like they're being healed and delivered. They can talk to you. You're easy to talk to. Your presence. Yes. You got the pastor. Yes, D. Mm-hmm. Yes. Manika. Yes, dear. I am too. I'm glad I went through it. I wouldn't change it for the world. All the stuff I went through, I wouldn't change it for the world. Because God had to show me who I was. He had to show me how much power I have, how strong I am. You got to realize, if you went through that much, that's what God had to show me. He said, look, girl. He didn't say that. He was like, daughter. He said, daughter, think about all you went through, right? All you went through from a child, your teenage years, your young adult years, just recently, all that you went through, you still here to tell the story. You are still here smiling. People don't know the half. You still looking good. You're still here in your right mind. You didn't have to take no depression meds and no anxiety meds, and you didn't have to see no therapist. You didn't have to go. You had to get delivered, though. I had to get delivered. I ain't gonna lie. I had to get delivered. Oh, I got delivered. Ooh, I went through a deliverance one time. It was with one of my good old friends. I'm thinking I'm going there. Look, I'm thinking I'm going there to speak and be her MC, introduce her. I got introduced. I introduced her all right. Oh, I introduced her. Oh, I introduced her. Mm-hmm. She got introduced. I was out on that floor, snot, and I know all kind of stuff. All kind of things just broke off me. My eye was bloodshot red for weeks. I said a week, all down in my eye, under my lid. It was like something it was coming out of me. Whatever it was, I know I got delivered that day. I mean, my eyes were red. And I was stuffy in my sinuses. And I know I was like, Lord, thank you. I got up feeling light. You got to be delivered from that stuff. Because it's not only what you dealt with. You see, people don't understand. Right? It's not only your stuff. This is why it's so important. This is why, let me tell you, I've been here. Been there, done that. Let me tell you what I'm about to tell you. Let me tell you. This is why being faithful in a marriage. That's why I say when people get married, they don't understand the spiritual implications. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it right now. That's why it's so important to be careful when you're married and you're not committing adultery. Because when you're married and you commit adultery, not only are you at risk for sexually transmitted diseases, you're also at risk for sexually transmitted demons. Because whatever you go do outside of your marriage and you come back transferring those spirits, that's why a lot of people right now, that's why they're mental. See, we don't think sexual perversion, fornication, adultery, we don't think that's tied to your mental. Oh, it's very connected. It is very connected. That perversion, and I can't talk about it on here, but I'm going to do a class on that. It's revelation. I'm going to do a class on that. It's very spiritual. This is why so many people are losing their mind. This is why so many people say, I blanked out and I don't know what happened. I just blanked out. It's true. It is true. People say, oh, I heard voices. We laugh at these people. Oh, I heard voices. Something told me to. It is true. And we just sit here and dismiss it. We try to naturalize stuff and try to diagnose them. Oh, they this, they bipolar, they schizo, they this. No, those are spirits. Because I don't care how much medicine you take, it still don't do anything. I was reading something that medicine they give people for, to calm them, supposedly calm them spirits down. Most of those people unalive themselves. But they don't talk about that. It's very deep. Most of them people unalive themselves because they trying to sedate a spirit. You can't sedate a spirit. You got to be delivered. You got to get the knowledge and the truth and stop doing the things that put you in that state. Whatever spirits that person has, whatever they deal with, if they got a perverted spirit, they're addicted to PORN. And that's another thing. I heard Tony Gaskin say this, but I felt this in my spirit. I felt this in my spirit before he said it, and it just resonated. He said this a couple months back, and God had gave me this revelation, and he give everybody same revelations or different. I was saying that people who is into PORN, that's where that spirit, that spirit of perversion come in. That's why so many people are turning to same sex. Right? That's why they turn into same sex, because they opening these doors to the perverted world. People think it's just, oh, you got to get in the mood. You don't have to do all that. That's the world's way. That's the perverted way. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. That's another reason why marriage is not lasting. You want your wife to, be in the perverted world, and you about to lose your whole family because you can't control your perversion. And you still ain't satisfied. That spirit of lust is a spirit that cannot be satisfied. This is why people go on from humans to animals. And that's an abomination. That's even worse. Because they open this door. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I ain't coming to talk about all this. I don't know if I'm going to leave this up because I got too deep on here. Y'all download this video. When I save, I'm going to have to block it. I'm going to have to put it in private. But I'm going to have to do some classes off YouTube. It really messes you up, D. It messes up your mental. That's why people run around here cuckoo. We don't want the spiritual. That's another thing. That's why they trying to change the Bible, take it away, say it's this, say it's that. No, when you read the word, it's to the point, but you got to read it with spiritual understanding. That's why people want to get into, if one person can't please you, you think 5 gonna please you? It's not humanly possible to be satisfied if the one can't please you. That's that perversion. That perversion grows. When you open that door to perversion, starting with MASTURBATION, I'm trying to keep it clean now because I know they're going to ding me. But when you start with that masturbating and you don't get delivered, it's going to go to the next thing. It's going to grow to the next thing. Hey, paintbrush by God is going to go to the next thing. And people are really struggling. The world is struggling with this. That's why some countries, they don't have this problem we have in the U.S. They ban stuff like that. Some countries, they understand the spiritual implications. And we just don't open the door to all kind of stuff. Do what we want, all this perverted stuff. And people just around here mental. It's not mental illness. It's called sin. You're doing something that's against how God made you. You're doing something against how God created you. And now you want to get into dogs. Now you into cats and birds and horses, and you don't went from one sin to the next. And I know people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. I'm gonna say what God told me to say. You into kids now? Why you think these people into kids? That perverted spirit, that spirit of lust, can't even control themselves. They do stuff, they can't even control themselves. Where a baby go to looking like, because it's a spirit. No person, like when you can't comprehend, how could a person mess with it? It is a spirit. That's why some of you all, when you get in relationships with these different people, a man or a woman, this could go both ways, and that person perverted, you wasn't like that when you got in their relationship. Now all of a sudden you just as perverted as them, because you don't swap them spirits. And you trying to do everything to please this person. That's another thing. Never lower your standards to please somebody who got that perverted spirit. Let them go on out there to the community and let the community do what the community do. You doing everything because this person is not pleased because they got that addicted spirit on them. They need to be delivered. Making you feel bad. Videos I watch on YouTube about different things because I see things from a spiritual perspective. Exactly. Paintbrush by God. Oh, I understand. Look, I've been there, done that. Oh, I understand. It does take a lot out of you. You can't focus on God. Mentally, you be off kilter. Exactly. Let God do it. And when God do it, you ain't going to be sleeping together and fornicating before he do it. Y'all ain't going to be living together. You ain't going to be bumping up and dry bumping and all that. I know I got to take this video down. Lord, I know I got to take this video down. I got to put it in private, y'all. Y'all have to do... I can't leave that. Lord. It's meant. And all that. I'm engaged. Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, y'all don't be engaged and messing around. Wait till he marry you. All this engaged and then now we engaged. That give us license. No, that's not married. Mm-mm. Nope. Listen. God, I ain't got to learn. I got one lesson to learn. I just got to learn one time. One time. And that's it. Listen, I don't care what nobody say. Well, how you going to scratch that itch and all that? Listen, I don't need no itch scratched. To keep my mental health and peace of mind, Lord, you handle that. Because people always try to make you feel bad, when you are saving yourself and sustaining yourself. They're like, oh, God, they make us this and that. But if you done been whooped enough by them demons, you ain't trying to hear nothing they saying. If you know your mental was affected, if you know you went through so much, you going to do it his way. You ain't worried about what they're saying. You like, okay, because they'll justify. Oh, before they had marriage license and this, that. Oh, I understand all that. Whether you get married on paper or get married outside of court, it's marriage. You're married. As long as you get married, however you do it, but it's married. A documented marriage. And people in the church do it all the time. That's why I say our church, the Western church is not doing things God's way. You know, we think we, got the date and all. No, it's why we're struggling. It's why so many divorces and God showed me this. He showed me this. That's why there's so many divorces, because people are not doing it God's way. They're not waiting until marriage. They're not staying pure to become one. You ain't pure. You got tied to all other, other demons and other people. You married to somebody else spiritually. Spiritually married to someone else. I learned my lesson. Listen. No, that's what we're not going to do. What we ain't going to do is, we're like, well, how you got to test drive the car? You better trust God that it's going to be the right car. Look, I'm going to trust God that it's going to be the right car. And got the right brakes and the right, seat covers and the right headlights and all that. I know I'm about to take it down. I know I'm about to put this on private, Lord. Lord. But somebody need to hear that, though. You just got to trust them. When you done been beat up and you done went through all this heartbreak and you got to pull yourself out of the slump and you got to heal and all that. And no, if the person don't want to wait, hey, that's not your person. That's not God. That's not your husband. That's not your husband. If they don't want to wait, if they don't want to do the requirements, that's not your. Let them go out there and be in the lust field. Look, let them go be in the lust field and wallow around in all the different spirits out there. That's why people are losing their minds. People are losing their minds. People are going through a lot of things that are unnecessary because we just got this spirit of lust and we listening to all this different type of music. We watching all these shows and putting all this stuff in our head. And these kids, I feel sorry for the generation, especially with this music. I feel sorry for these young kids. I feel sorry for them because they don't understand how important it is that, how serious it is when they're just listening to this different music that is changing how they see the world. Changing how they see the world. Changing, how they see things and what they doing. And they don't understand. They don't even have the wisdom, the spiritual wisdom to understand the seriousness of fornicating. The seriousness of perversion and watching nasty movies and, all this different. They don't understand it because the church is not teaching. These kids are not being raised up in the church or being taught the right thing. Even if you're raised in the church, they still miss some of the mark too, but they're not being taught the right thing. And sometimes you can tell them and teach them, they still have to learn, but at least you taught them, listen, save yourself. I tell my daughter, save yourself for marriage now. I tell them, I know they're young adults and I can't control them. I'm like, listen, them demons gonna kick you. Look, I talk to them like this, be like, Mom. I'm like, look, them demons gonna kick y'all butt. Try to get pure. Stay pure till you're married. Till you find your husband. So you won't have all these different spirits. Same thing for men. Stay pure. Men think it's one-sided to where the women, they don't want women with body counts, but then they think they can have all those body counts. No, because you're going to take all them spirits you got on you and you're going to transfer them to your wife. You need to be pure too. There's no one-sided demons. They get the both of you when you out there. Look, there's no one-sided demons. Them demons, they get both of you. Both of you. One, it's just like it's never ending. Like when you open that door to lust, it is never ending. So many people are struggling with that. Exactly. Yes, that's what you have to do too, Paintbrush. I do too, dear. I do too. I pray for my girls because it is serious. I know how hard it was for me to fight these demons off me. I know it'll be even harder for them, but since I broke the curses, they're not going to, you got to keep it real with these kids. You got to tell it how it is. I tell my girls how it is. I do. I try to not be so direct, but I don't know. I do. Look, I do be telling them like, Mom, you have to say it like that. Yes. You're gonna appreciate it. Yes. You appreciate it, baby. This is why. Because back in the days they used to tell us. Why I had to get ready to go to my class. Back in the days they used to tell us what to do or what not to do, but then tell us why not to do it. So now I tell them this is why you don't do this, because if you do this, yeah, you're gonna open the door to a lot of demons, a lot of spiritual attacks, a lot of lack, a lot of poverty. I say, do you want to live in poverty, baby? I asked my girl, do you want to be stuck, struggling, broke, busted, disgusted, or you want to have a good life? So you got two choices. You got to make your choice. You make your choice. And unfortunately, when you see this, and this is what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, when you're trying to break curses like that, you have people in your family who are watching you, right? You have these spirits that are still connected to you. It could be the grandma, the aunties, the cousins, and they see what you're trying to do, and they'll intentionally sabotage what you're doing. They'll intentionally sabotage what you're doing out of jealousy. And they'll support whatever them kids, like, I had an incident with my son. I had an incident. Oh, yes, you keep praying over your baby. Paintbrush by God. Yeah. I had an incident to where, something happened with my son, but God is delivering him. God is restoring that, right? And you had people to come support, and they didn't know all the ins and outs of everything, but they just came around to support, what he said he was doing. And we talked about this. I don't hold back. And I told him what last week I talked about on my channel, although I know God was showing me what was going on spiritually. But they'll come and support foolishness. And I told him, I said, half of them people supported you. They ain't support you because they love you. Oh, they supported you because they hate me. Oh, they supported you because they hate me. They want you to be stuck. And they want you to go through that. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Because them spirits want to continue the generational curse. They want to continue the lack, the brokenness, the busted and disgustedness. They want to continue that. I told him straight up, no chaser. I told him, I said, don't think your family love you. Told him just like that. Don't think they love you. Don't think these people love you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, son. And sometimes you wait to tell your kids certain things because you don't want to drop because if I drop all the bomb on them, if I drop everything on them, I don't think they won't be able to handle it. That's why I stopped talking about certain things to them and waited till they got a little older. But then you don't want to die and have the stuff in you and they don't know how to fight it. So I had to just lay it out. I laid it out, dropped the bombshell, exploded. Because people be jealous. They'll be jealous of what you're doing, what you're trying to do. Mad because it's you. Mad because you ain't getting sucked up by the generation of curse. You still fighting. When the devil come, you right cup them and left cup them and everything else. You do all you can do to fight. And you did all you can do to, keep the brunt of things from off your kids. And I know I fought a good fight. I know my kids were able to be kids. I didn't get a chance to be a child. I had to grow up quick. They got a chance to be kids. They got a chance to be kids. And I tried to protect them from the trauma and drama of how family are, how they talk about each other, how they, how they talk about each other, how they could smile in each other's face. And then when one person walk away, they talking bad about the person, how they talk about, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. That's too much. That's trauma. That's trauma and drama. I didn't want my kids to go through that. And unfortunately, when you keep them away, they don't too much know the family. They don't build relationships with them. But it's either you keep them away from the drama or you let them grow up with that foolishness. And then they they end up in the same cycle. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. So That's okay. You know, just keep praying. Yeah, that's okay. Paintbrush brush by God. And you know what? Once you get delivered, it won't even be that bad. You'll be glad you're not you were the black sheep. You'll be glad. When I got healed from my rejection and abandonment issues, I was glad. I'm like, Lord, I thank God. You know, because all that stuff weighs on you. It weighs on you and it make you, it make you like them. You know, it make you get in that mindset of, oh, when I go around now, I got to, watch my back. I don't have time for all that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's too much. That's too much. Let's try to build something. Let's try to pull our resources together so we can pull each other up, help each other up, build something. Let's be like the Hispanics. We save our money, we get a plan, we save our money together, we come together, save. I had a coworker. I hired her. I was a supervisor. And her family, I never forget, her family lived together. Her uncles and everything came to live with them. Their mom had a 3-bedroom. And they had like 3 families in that house. I never forget. And she was telling me how her uncle and her aunts moved out, because I was at that job for about 5 years. But when she was there, I was with her about 3 years. But she was telling how her uncle and her aunt finally moved out. They bought their house, but they stayed in that 3-bedroom with her mom and her other siblings. And that family saved up their money till they got them a house. Let's build something together. Let's talk about building something. Let's make a plan. Instead of just gossiping and talk about each other and, oh, they doing this, oh, they doing that, oh, who got time for that? I don't have time for that. That's draining. But anyways, y'all, I gotta go. My class start in 10 minutes and I gotta go. Y'all be blessed. But I won't leave this video up. I have to make it private or put it in my group because I said too much stuff on here. Okay, I said some stuff on this video. I said some stuff. Okay, that's why I got to go and do Zoom. I got to do Zoom so we can talk how we want to talk. But be blessed. Bye-bye.